Good morning, boys and girls. Miss Sexton is very elated to be back with you guys again. I know it's been a while, but I think we're in for a treat this morning. How many of you guys know what community workers are? Go ahead, Symmetric. Tell me what a community worker is. Exactly. A community worker is someone who works in the community. Am I a community worker? Yes, I am. And what am I? What is Miss Sexton? Kiss your brain, Symmetric. You're so smart. I am. Miss Sexton is a preschool teacher. I'm your teacher, as a matter of fact. So this morning, Symmetric, we're going to start with our calendar for Unit 3, Week 2. Our community workers. Who helps us all cross the street? He's someone you would like to meet. If you need a ride today, who will help without delay? Police and doctor, teacher too. Tell me how they all help you. Firefighter, crossing guard. Tell me how they all work hard. How many workers can we name? Let's have fun with this game. Now, how many workers can you all name? Yes, this is one we talked about earlier. Mail carrier. Yes, and she's a lady. She's a lady mail carrier. And what does she do? She delivers your mail. Good job, Kelsey. She brings our mail. And what is this little lady right here? Yes, she is. She's a teacher. And what does she do? Good job, Aaliyah. She does. She helps us learn our ABCs. But I have one interesting book that I think you guys may like. A Day in the Life of a Firefighter. And what part of the book is this, boys and girls? Go ahead. Good job, Aaliyah. This is the front of the book. This is the front of the book. And the front of the book has your title. What part of the book is this? Good job. This is the spine of the book. Excellent, excellent. Kiss your brains for me. Kiss your brains for me. And one more. What part of the book is this, boys and girls? It is. It's the back of the book. That's right, the back of the book. And what does the spine of the book do? The spine right here. Yes, it does. It holds our pages together. See? So when we hold the book upside down, it doesn't fall apart. A Day in the Life of a Firefighter. How do firefighters begin their days, their work days? Firefighters go to the fire station, start their shifts. Firefighter Mark works from 7 in the morning one day until 7 in the morning the next day. When Mark arrives at work, he finds his boots and gloves. He checks his air tank to be sure if it's full. He must be ready if there's a fire. And look at Mark. He got all his equipment in his hand. And this clock shows us 7 in the morning. Our long hand is our minute hand. Our short hand is our hour hand. And he works from 7, and the clock goes all the way around until it gets back to the 7 again. What happens when there is a fire? People call 911 to report a fire. A dispatcher answers the call and tells the firefighters where to go. The alarm sounds at the station. Mark and the firefighters rush to their gear. They drive fire trucks to the fire. Fire trucks. Looks like this, a little engine like this with the ladder. Are there ever false alarms? Alarms sometimes go off when there's not a fire. Still, people and firefighters must treat every alarm as a real fire. Firefighters check the building to make sure it is safe. Today, Mark's crew spends an hour checking the building. Mark's crew did not find a fire. They're checking and making sure everything is working just in case they do receive a call and it's an actual fire. Where do firefighters eat? Looks like a kitchen to me. But let's see. Firefighters usually eat at the fire station. It is Mark's turn to cook lunch. He makes pasta and bread in the fire station kitchen. The fire station has a kitchen. And they usually spend the night at the fire station. Where do firefighters sleep? Many fire stations have rooms called dorms where firefighters can sleep. After a short nap, Mark and his crew will train together. They practice rescues and learn how to work safely. Firefighters stay busy even when there are no fires. Look at those firefighter boots. Look a little bit like rain boots, don't they? And look at Mark, getting him some sleep. He looks pretty tired, doesn't he? Ooh. About 5 p.m. in the evening, look, we have some more kids, some students, who decided to take a trip to the fire station. And what is Mark doing? He's describing the parts of the fire truck to them. What do firefighters do when they are not on a fire call? Firefighters teach fire safety. And this is what he's doing. He's teaching these kids fire safety. Mark shows these children how the fire truck works. He tells them what to do if there's a fire. Firefighters also go to other emergencies. They give first aid and they help the police. Wow, I think this is an awesome, awesome job. Look at this one. How do firefighters put out fires? Firefighters use special equipment to put out fires. Mark and the driver hook up the hose together. Mark wears a mask and air tank to protect him from smoke. His clothes protect him from heat and spraying water. Look at that fire. It looks very extensive, doesn't it? Look at that fire. What happens after a fire is out? Firefighters have work to do. After a fire is out, Mark cleans the trucks. When his shift is over, Mark will go home. Another firefighter will come to work. Firefighters are always on duty. Our firefighters are always on duty, boys and girls, because we need them to help keep us safe and protect us when things happen. Just like the police officers, they're always on duty. When one goes home, we have another one that comes to work to do his job. Amazing, but true. Horses pull early fire engines. Back in the days, horses did the jobs that the fire engine does today. Some fire stations did not have horse stables. If there was a fire, the driver had to run to a nearby field and chase down the horses. After hooking up the horses, the crew raced to the fire. And boys and girls, if you've never visited a fire station, ask your teachers or have your teacher to ask your director or even ask your parents to take you on a little field trip to the fire station. They will be more than welcome to have you. And here is just a diagram of all the equipment that's on the fire engine. We have the ladder, and it's usually at the top of the fire truck like this, in case you have a fire that's up high on a building or something and they can reach it. We have the air tank, and it's to keep the firefighter from falling out. It stops him from losing a lot of oxygen. His helmet, his gear, it protects his head from the fire just in case he slips and falls. His gloves, just in case he has to pick up something hot. It prevents third degree or first degree burns. His boots, they also work the same as the gloves. They prevent his feet from getting burned or hurt. And the Dalmatian, he's just a cute little spotty dog that fire stations use for their mascot. The hose, the water hose, this sprays the water to help put out the fire. These are the doors. We have the front cab, and we have where the workers work in the back, and the driver sits up here, and the crew is back here. The end. Okay, boys and girls, we saw a lot of things going on in this book. So I decided to create, and we all did this together, some activities, learning activities that we can do right here by using this book. If you notice, at the top of every page, there was a clock. And what do clocks do, boys and girls? Good job, Elijah. They tell time. They help you keep up with the time. And so everything that Mark did, he did it at a specific time. And the clocks help keep the time. So one of our first activities that we did together, we created our own clocks. And like earlier, I told you, our clock, our shorthand, which is this little hand right here, it helps us keep up with the hour. We call it our hour hand. The shorthand is our hour hand. And the long hand, it helps us keep up with the minutes. So we'll know the hour and the minute, the exact time that something goes on. And this is a little simple activity that you and your mom, and like we've done in the classroom, you all can do at home together. And it helps you learn time as well. Your shorthand is your hour hand. And your long hand is your minute hand. Something simple. Construction paper, a marker, ink pen, pencil, typing paper, notebook paper, and you got your clock to keep up with your time. And one of our second activities, we made picture cards. Boys and girls, who is this guy on this picture right here? Good job. He's a police officer. And we have one of him right here. A police officer. Look at him. And what does the police officer do? Yes, he helps keep us safe. He helps keep us safe from crime and bad things happening. And police officer, 2 words. And what does police begin with, boys and girls? Police officer begins with the lowercase letter P, and officer begins with the lowercase o. P and O. Letter recognition, boys and girls. Police officer. We have an uppercase P, which is the big P. And we have the lowercase p. We have an uppercase O and a lowercase o for police officer. Police officer. And we made another little card right here. Firefighter. What letter does firefighter begins with, boys and girls? Good job, Elijah. Firefighter begins with the lowercase f. Firefighter. And we put the alphabet on the back for reinforcement of our activity. We have the uppercase F, which is the capital, the big F. And then we have our lowercase f, firefighter. And another one of our little cards we did, doctor. And how many of us have been to the doctor in the past month? Whew, I know, more times than we can count. It's that time of year. We have to stay warm. Doctor. And doctor begins with D. And this is a lowercase d. This is our uppercase D. And this is our lowercase d. Doctor. And who is this lovely lady right here? Yes, she is, Elijah. This is our teacher. Teacher. And teacher begins with, what letter is this? It is the same letter that turtle begins with. But what letter does turtle begin with? Good job, Kadarius. Turtle begins with T. T for turtle. And this is a lowercase t. Lowercase. This is our small t. This is our big T. And this is our lowercase t. And who is this community helper right here? Yes, he is. He's a mailman. But we'll call this one, for the sake of the picture, a mail carrier. He's carrying the mail on his shoulder. Mail carrier. And what does mail begins with, boys and girls? M. Good job. This is a lowercase m. M for mail. And what does carrier begins with? Yes, it does. C. C as in cat. Mail carrier. And here's a picture of another community helper, boys and girls, that we all know and love. He keeps us safe. One of his jobs is to keep us safe. He makes sure you boys and girls make it to school safe, and make sure you make it back home to your parents safe as well. And what is he? Good job. He's our loving bus driver. Bus driver. And all the kids love to meet the bus driver. Bus driver. What does bus begin with, boys and girls? Good job. Bus begins with the lowercase letter B. B for bus. And driver. What letter does driver begins with? Okay, let me give you a clue. What letter does dog begin with? Good job. Dog begins with D. Driver. Dog. D. The lowercase d. Bus driver. Your uppercase B. Your lowercase b. Your uppercase D. And your lowercase d. Bus driver. Another community helper. And this brings us to the end of our activity, our flashcards that we made. A painter. And who all knows what a painter is? Yes, he does. He paints our houses. He paints the school. He paints buildings. He's called a painter. And look at him with the paintbrush in his hand. And painter begins with what letter, boys and girls? P. P for painter. And this is also a lowercase p. Good job, Kadarius. I heard you say P. P for painter. We have our big P, which we call an uppercase P. and our lowercase p. And can you all think of any more community helpers that Miss Sexton may have left out? Okay. We said police officer. We have him. Okay. Mail lady. We said her. Mail carrier. Mail carrier. We have a male and a female. So these jobs can be done by either a boy or a girl. We said teacher. And we also have male teachers as well. But this just so happens to be a female teacher. And firefighters. Look at our firefighters. We have a girl firefighter and a boy firefighter. So, boys and girls, you can be a firefighter. You can be a firefighter, a boy or either a girl. Okay, yes, right here. Our doctor. And both our doctors just so happen to be ladies. Is your doctor a lady or a girl or a boy? What is your pediatrician symmetric? Oh, you have a female pediatrician. Here she goes right here. So our community workers can be a number of things, boys and girls, a number of things. So I hope you all enjoyed this time I spent with you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.